Hello and welcome everyone to today's webinar. My name is Preston McNair. I'm Vice President of Sales for Sangoma, and today I'll be talking about Zulu UC, an add-on to the world's most popular open source PBX platform. So Zulu UC allows you to stay in touch and expands the way you communicate from your desktop, laptop, and mobile devices. I expect today's session should take about 25 to 30 minutes with some Q&A time at the end. I've got Todd Bryant, one of he's the Director of Enterprise Sales here at Sangoma. He is actually going to be answering questions throughout the webinar. Let's get started with a quick overview of Sangoma. When I do these presentations, I sometimes find that not everyone knows the history of Sangoma or how we're associated with FreePBX. So Sangoma started back in 1984. We're over 34 years old, and we're a stable, growing company with a proven track record. We have lots of offices around the world. Hong Kong, India, Germany, Spain, the US, Ecuador, Colombia, Toronto, Montreal, Boston, New Jersey, Alabama, Atlanta, San Diego. And if we don't have an office near you, it's likely we probably have a remote worker somewhere in your area, possibly using Zulu to communicate and stay in touch. Sangoma leads the market in what we like to call the enterprise value-based communication segment, which includes small businesses to large enterprises, who are looking for all the advantages of unified communications or advanced phone systems at a fair price. Sangoma's UC solutions meet the needs of this segment with advanced features such as Zulu, which enable presence, chat, conferencing, mobility, fax, and more as an add-on or built into the base communications platform. So Sangoma's voice over IP offerings include on-premise and cloud-based phone systems, SIP trunking services, and telephony hardware. Sangoma's products and services are used in leading PBX, IVR, contact center, carrier networks, and data communications applications worldwide. So I mentioned that Sangoma is the world's largest provider of open source communication solutions. We spend millions per year bringing Asterisk and FreePBX to the marketplace. Asterisk, of course, being the telephony engine or framework that is the engine of FreePBX, and FreePBX being an all-in-one IP PBX that's free to use. So FreePBX is deployed in 220 countries and territories with over 20,000 new distro installs per month. This accounts for millions of active deployments globally all across the planet. FreePBX currently has 1.3 million lines of code and close to 250 contributors. One thing most people don't understand about open source projects is that much of the development is done by the project maintainers. Sangoma spends countless man hours per year developing and continuing to expand on the included feature set of FreePBX. With that investment and being a for-profit publicly traded company, we built out add-ons to the platform such as Zulu that will allow you to expand on the base feature set of FreePBX and hopefully provide enough of a return on investment for you, our customers, to have you contribute back and support the project by purchasing these add-ons. So, okay, enough about Sangoma. The reason you're here today is hopefully to learn something you didn't know about Zulu. So let's get started on that subject. I'll first give you a quick overview of Zulu, a brief mention of compatibility and installation instructions, and then we'll jump into the desktop client features and then finish it up with our new mobile clients for Android and iOS. Then, of course, I won't neglect to mention, how and where you can try and buy Zulu for yourself. And if we have some time, we'll take some questions live. So what is Zulu UC? Zulu is a server, desktop, and mobile client solution that's designed to provide unified communications, UC, for your FreePBX installations. Zulu turns your installation of FreePBX into more than just a phone system. A little bit about where the Zulu name came from. Sangoma, if you've ever Googled it or searched for it online, the Sangoma name was given to us by David Mandelstam, who was the original founder of Sangoma, who was originally from South Africa. So Sangoma means traditional healer in the Zulu language. So Zulu was actually one of the official languages of South Africa. So that's kind of history where the name came from. So Zulu is a feature-rich phone client. It provides CTI, browser and desktop integration, online chatting, file transfer and sharing, presence control, call pop-ups, SMS and fax integration, and even screen sharing in the latest settings, in the latest versions. So It unifies your voice calls with your computer and mobile phone, including the click to call and call notifications on your desktop. It pulls in the ability to do online chat and transfer and share files and send and receive SMS and faxes. And the Zulu desktop client works on Windows, Mac, and Linux, and the mobile version will work on both iOS and Android. And for click to call for web browsers, we support Google Chrome and Firefox. Zulu UC's core design is built around interactions. I'll show you in detail how this is built on both the desktop client and our mobile clients when I review them in just a minute, but I wanted to highlight quickly that you will see this core design across much of the functionality of the Zulu clients. We built Zulu in this manner to provide an ease of use experience that is intuitive for Zulu users and to make it easy to find prior communications, whether they're calls, chats, shared files, or other events like SMSs or faxes from both the desktop and mobile client. Now, these interactions are actually saved on the server and then matched and displayed on the clients. So when you pull up a client or a contact, you'll see all of your interactions with that person. So if that same person spams you 20 times a day, then you can quickly look at your interactions with that person and see how much they're actually calling or how much time you're spending with those particular people. So before I show off the clients, just a quick note, Zulu UC does require a server component to run the backend and integration with your installation of FreePBX. The FreePBX distro or our open source development isn't just a configuration file for Asterisk anymore. We actually have different components, different servers that we build into our distro to run and manage Zulu. Not going to get into the details of how to install it, but if you're using the FreePBX distro, setup will be pretty easy. If you're using a hand-built or compiled installation of FreePBX, you can probably make Zulu work, but we would be limited in what we would support commercially, as we depend on many dependencies and pre-built integrations that are already configured for you and ready to go when you deploy the FreePBX distro. Zulu requires, at a minimum, FreePBX 13, but for the latest features such as screen sharing, we require at least FreePBX version 14. There are very detailed guides for installing and configuring Zulu with FreePBX at wiki.freepbx.org. So this is about as deep as I'm going to go into that subject. If you want to take a quick shortcut, you can also look at purchasing licensing or appliances preloaded with PBXact, which has the Zulu server components already installed and licensed for use, just waiting for you to configure them. So moving on from the server component, I'm going to next cover our Zulu desktop application. I'll cover as many features as possible, and just a quick note that the screenshots you're going to see and features represented are from Zulu 3.0 on a Mac. So if you're running Windows or Linux, you're going to see a slightly different look than represented here, but the basic functionality and features are going to be the same. So when you install Zulu and launch it, just like the server version, the installation instructions and the downloads are available at Sangoma.com or on the Sangoma wiki. The first thing you'll be prompted for once you get it installed is to configure a user. You'll typically want to utilize the same credentials. You typically will utilize the same credentials your FreePBX users use when logging into the FreePBX user control panel or UCP. This makes it drop dead easy for your users to get up and configured. They should already have their usernames and passwords for the user control panel, and they can reuse those here. Once you get logged in, you can manage lots of different settings. You can configure things like user interface. You can change it from English language to Spanish or many other supported languages. You can modify your pop-up notifications for your desktop. You can define your default speakers and microphones. So of course, if your computer supports it, you can configure the device to connect to a Bluetooth headset or any other type of microphone or speaker that you might have configured on your desktop. Once the Zulu client is configured, it'll connect to the PBX and enable you to send and receive phone calls. The connection to your PBX in Zulu is over an encrypted secured call path. That's not using a typical SIP connection or soft phone configuration. So in my experience, this typically does provide much better call quality and clarity, as your routers and carriers are not as apt to get in and modify or misconfigure or misconstrue the registration to the PBX or the audio streams. A lot of carriers in a lot of regions will get in and potentially interfere with those registrations on typical SIP soft phones. So this is not a typical SIP soft phone. It's actually connecting back to the Zulu server on the back end of the platform. So once you're up and running, the simplest way to make a call is to just start typing in a number in the dial pad, like you would any other soft phone. But outside of just typing in the phone number and hitting the send key, because of the tight integration with your FreePBX server in Zulu, we can also connect and pull up a contact list within Zulu of all the other extensions on your PBX, or you can even create custom contact lists that you can upload yourself, either at the system administrator level, or if you have it enabled, your end users can upload their own contact list within the FreePBX user control panel, or UCP. So instead of just dialing numbers, you can type a name or number and pull up contacts to interact with. Those contact lists can include things like photos. You can also utilize Active Directories and other settings on your PBX to pull in these lists. Once you pull up a contact, you can call their extension or mobile numbers, or you can also see your entire history with that person. Like I said, when I started, Zulu was designed around interactions. So any calls that you've made or missed to that contact, or any online chats, any files that you've shared, any interactions you've had, they're logged on the server and then displayed in the clients. So if I wanted to make a call to a contact, I can make a call a couple different ways. One is to use Zulu. So I want to make a call, I can pull up the contact. In this example, I've pulled up Todd Milbrand, one of our channel account managers, and pulled up his number. And the desktop client gives me the ability to use Zulu to place the call, which will route the call directly to my computer speaker and microphone, or on a per call basis, I can click the Use Zulu button, and that call will be generated or originated from my desktop directly to Todd's extension. You can also have the calls routed to your desktop phone. This is a great way to integrate Zulu client and your desktop directly to your hardware-based desk phone. I personally use Zulu extensively in this manner, as I can be anywhere in my office within range of my decked headset and start a call on my desktop phone. Answer or end a call. It's a great way to utilize your desktop phone as well. When you're not using Zulu to make calls, you can also use it to control your presence. Using the presence status dropdown in the Zulu interface, you can, for example, set your presence to available or do not disturb or away, and all those presence statuses have defined actions. So maybe if I'm away, I might have the system set up so that it automatically turns on my follow me calling and forwards my calls elsewhere. Or if I have it set on do not disturb, I don't want my desktop phone to ring or Zulu to ring. This presence status is updated across your entire phone system and reflected within user control panel, desktop phone, Zulu, operator panels like iSymphony. This allows your fellow users of Zulu and of the phone system to know more about your availability for a phone call. Call history button in Zulu shows you a record of all your previous calls. It allows you to quickly call back any missed calls or review your previous time spent on calls. The voicemail tab, it allows you to view all of your voicemails. You can see who left you a voicemail, play it back, delete it, or even generate a new call to that person. All very clear, intuitive icons to play and manage your voicemails. The integrated online chat functionality of Zulu. So it allows you to communicate with both desktop and mobile users of Zulu within your company. So you can chat individually or even join group chats, set up in public and private rooms. in addition to the chatting is enabled with emojis, so you can share your favorite emojis with your coworkers. And you can also, when using the chat functionality or viewing other contacts, you can attach and share files directly with other Zulu users. So maybe PDFs or videos or photos or recordings. You can send all of that directly from within Zulu to other users within your company. And in addition to sending and sharing files, you can also now, if you're running our latest versions, you can click on the screen share button to start a screen share session with other users on your phone system. So you can share particular screens or windows or tabs. It's a great tool to do more than just make phone calls with your FreePBX system. If you're looking at contacts, you can click on the fax tab. You can send faxes to other users or even external fax machines. The other users can receive faxes, now this module does require the Fax Pro FreePBX add-on, but once enabled, the Zulu interface allows you to specifically specify where to send the fax. You can attach a PDF and then create a custom cover page for that specific fax directly from within the Zulu user interface. Once you send your fax, Zulu will also provide you with fax in progress status updates, so you know that a fax is actually still sending. And it'll also give you a notification that the fax was sent or the fax failed and so forth, and allow you to resend it. And it'll also send you, Fax Pro module will send you an email notification if you have the Fax Pro module configured to do so. So in addition, you can hit send, exit out of Zulu, and it's going to continue sending that fax and send you a notification when that fax has been completely sent. Faxes will also be archived within Zulu, so I can go pull up a user and see that, hey, I sent a fax to Todd Milbrand this morning, and I can view that file directly from within Zulu. So it gives me all my interactions all in one place. I can see I missed a call and that Todd called me and I sent a fax to Todd directly from my interactions from earlier today. And the final thing I'll show you on the desktop software is the ability to get call pops or notifications from the Zulu client on incoming calls. This allows you to answer or reject the calls. We also have an add-on for CRM integrations such as Salesforce or Suite or other supported CRMs that allow Zulu to open the call pop directly to the CRM record for your inbound caller. That's another add-on that we'll be discussing in next week's webinar. So outside of the Zulu desktop application, you can further enhance your experience by enabling Zulu browser plugins for the Chrome web browser and Firefox web browser. These plugins enable you to click the dial from within your web browser. So once you get the plugin installed, you can then just visit just about any website, and if there's a phone number listed, the Zulu client will highlight that number for you for potential action. So in this screenshot, you can see the little phone icon that is generated by Zulu next to recognized phone numbers. By clicking on the number, you can now make calls. Zulu will open up and prompt you to dial the number from the website. You can also set it to automatically, without having to go through the prompts, to just automatically dial that number for you. So it's going to automatically parse phone numbers. So if you're using Gmail, for example, or a web-based email, and someone has a phone number in the signature line, it'll automatically allow you to click and call that person back. It'll also pull up any contact information, or that phone number is matched to a contact that's saved in Zulu for you. It'll automatically match that information up for you. The next thing I'm going to cover today is Zulu Mobile. The Zulu mobile clients. These allow you to make and receive PBX calls directly from your mobile device. You can take your extension with you, as well as a bunch of desktop features that are now being integrated into the mobile platforms. So the Zulu mobile clients are available in the iOS, Apple App Store, and Android's Google Play Store. These are currently in beta, but are very functional and very much under active development. So once you download the version of Zulu needed for your device, you can quickly get it configured to connect back to your PBX. If you've enabled it, your end users can scan a QR code that's generated by the FreePBX user control panel for their specific user. Or of course, you can manually configure the PBX destination and credentials for your user. This is similar to the desktop, as it's based on the FreePBX UCP credentials for each user's configuration. So it should be a username and password they already know. For manually provisioning, you just have to point them in the right direction for registering their or accessing their PBX or Zulu installation. Once you have it configured, once you've got your Zulu mobile client configured, which by the way, just like the desktop client, you can configure it for multiple extensions or even different PBX registrations. So you can actually have, your Zulu client registering to different extensions or even different PBXs. So once you have it configured, you can start using it by making yourself available for calls in the present settings of Zulu Mobile. Just like the desktop, this present state is reflected in other places and connected devices for your profile. So if you set yourself to available in Zulu, it's going to set you to be available for phone calls. If you set yourself to do not disturb, it's going to set all of your phones on do not disturb. You receive calls in Zulu Mobile just like you would on any mobile device. A call comes in, pops up, and either you answer the call or reject it. You have caller ID, CNAM information, and so forth directly on the screen, so you know who's calling you. There's no blind calls. Whatever CNAM information is provided by your PBX, caller ID and name, is going to be presented within Zulu. Zulu Mobile allows you to place callers on hold. So if you're on a phone call, you can actually put them on hold, and that will play them PBX hold music, just like any other phone would on your PBX. You can mute calls. So if you're listening on a conference bridge or to a webinar by dialing in, you might want to mute your call. You can do that directly from within the Zulu interface. You can also use your device's speakerphone, or you can use it like a regular handset or connect it to any Bluetooth headset that's connected to your device. Zulu even allows mobile users to transfer calls to other internal or external destinations. This was a big feature request that we do make it really easy for you to make these call transfers. Making calls is similar to the desktop version. You can use the touchscreen friendly dial pad or pull up contacts from your PBX, just like you do in the desktop version. So the contact list in the mobile version, in addition to the PBX contact list, will actually pull up your phone's address book as well. So it'll show you not only contacts that are on your PBX, but also ones that you have saved in your phone. You can also do a deep dive on those contacts, to pull up all the same information that you do in the desktop version, their status. So, looking at the screenshot, Todd Bryant is showing as available. Shows me his contact information, his work, his home, his cell, his contact photo from the contact list. Gives me a quick dial key if I want to call him, or even a quick message key if I want to chat or send him a file. I can do it right from within when I pull up his specific contact information. All this information syncs back to the PBX. So it pulls up your call history from the PBX. So if you've gone out to lunch and you've stepped out and you pull up the Zulu app to see what kind of calls you've missed while you're out on your mobile, it'll show you all your unanswered calls. So in addition to the call history from your PBX, you can also have your voicemail from your PBX. So just like the desktop version allows you to listen, manage, and call back your contacts on your voicemail. You can review them, play them, delete them, all directly from within the Zulu mobile application. The chat client within Zulu Mobile allows you to chat with your coworkers from anywhere, just like the desktop client. And the Zulu mobile version allows you to send other users photos and even recordings. So you can record audio messages or quick audio sound bites and send them directly to other Zulu users directly from within the mobile interface. And because it's interaction driven, just like the desktop client, you can see all of your interactions for specific clients. So I can see that for Todd Bryant, all of my calls yesterday and today are logged and viewable directly within the Zulu application. So that's it for Zulu. We do have a free 2-user 1-year trial license of Zulu available in the Sangoma store, which you can visit at portal.sangoma.com. Outside of the trial, a 20-user license of Zulu is $199 per year, and a 1,000-user license is $19.99 per year. You can add as many of those in either licensing blocks to get to the number of users you need for your FreePBX installation. Of course, any partners or resellers do get, certified resellers and partners do get significant discounts on Zulu. So if you're reselling Zulu, please contact our sales team and we can talk to you about our partner program. And of course, we do have other licensing options, such as our PBXact phone system platform, which includes Zulu licenses with every system. So if you really want to learn how to get the most out of your FreePBX system and more about Zulu, please sign up for either our free online training or our classroom training at the Sangoma University site, which is training.sangoma.com. We also have extensive user guides at wiki.freepbx.org, or you can, of course, contact the sales department or hit up our online forums for additional information. Well, looks like everyone is good. I don't see any questions. That's it. I want to thank you for joining us today. There will be another webinar next week on the remainder of our this series, our FreePBX commercial modules. Last week I covered FreePBX endpoint. Those recordings are available online. If you visit sangoma.com or our YouTube channel, you can watch the recording from last week's presentation. Thanks again for joining us and have a great day.